with UOL's man roaming the jungle.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Diamond Prox of the Unicorns of Love. And first off, to start this one off, that was a very impressive win. We saw a lot of good macro strategy from you guys. Who's leading the shot calling on your team?
We were just doing what we know. Like, everyone was doing what we practiced, and everyone communicated everything, so we didn't need a shot caller for this game. The only thing we lacked is that we lost the top tier 1 for free. That's what we should have worked on better. But overall, we just communicated well, and we knew what to do. That's why no shot caller was needed for this game.
Right, you just had the game plan coming into the game. Well, you can now come onto the Unicorns of Love, and it was a very interesting choice. Can you talk me through why you chose the Unicorns of Love to join?
Basically, because when I was playing like previous split of LCS, I was like seeing that Vizichachi and Hili-san are doing super good, and I was looking up to them on their roles. Like, I felt they were like really smart and really good mechanically, especially Hili-san. And after I got like kind of an offer from Unicorns of Love, I see there are only those 2 players left, and the new ones, which I really respect, are coming too. So I basically liked the roster very much. So I joined them, and I think we have good chances of success. And I really like the team atmosphere here.
Oh, that's very cool to hear. A lot of respect coming from you as well, Diamond Prox. And you touched on it briefly at the end there, but what are your goals for the split? How well do you think this team is going to do, and what do you personally want to achieve this split in spring?
I don't know. I just want to play good. That's all.
You just want to play good. Well, it started off well, Diamond Prox. Thank you very much for the interview. We're going to send it over to the analyst to take a look at the game.
Well, thank you so much, Pauls. And indeed, it's a question we asked before getting into the game. That legacy player in Diamond, what can he do with a different configuration? And he answered himself. I have a lot of respect for Hili-san and Chachi. And it is in the top and the bottom lane that the first things, got rolling, as my pen did.
Yeah, if we look very quick at the pick and ban phase, because that's very important to set up how that early game played out. Basically, what happens here for Splyce is they see the first 4 picks for Unicorns of Love. And they see Tahm Kench, Alistar, Elise, Ezreal. Okay, so there's no real engage other than Tahm Kench ulti coming into backline, fairly predictable to play around. There's no real wave clear either.
Yep.
That's to say, are you okay?
Sorry, go ahead.
There's no wave clear either. So Splyce goes, who's our mid laner? Oh, Varus. Poke against no wave clear, against low engage. The problem is, you already have a weaker jungle matchup in Rek'Sai into Elise in the early game, and now you give a counter pick to Unicorns of Love. So they take Zed, winning matchup in mid, so that combo of Zed and Elise together gives you full map control if you are the Unicorns of Love. And again, you're also playing against double tier. There's so little you can do in the early game if you're Splyce.
It played right into Fox's hands. When I was researching the differences between Fox and Power, I'm just like, ooh, Fox played like 8 games of Zed last season. Zed wasn't played in Summer. So, I mean, Varus, not a great matchup for that, but we were talking a little bit about what could they have gone for that was a safe pick. And, you know, there was the likes of the Victor, you know, all these options. We were talking about the Ahri that we've seen a couple of times today, and I find it an interesting point. We were talking about the coaching style of Yamato. I've been sat here next to Yamato sometimes, and he's like, I'm not a big Ahri fan. I don't really think it fits. We were seeing Ryu do really well on it in playoffs, and just for some reason, Yamato previously didn't like Ahri. I wonder whether that still plays into it, but nevertheless, in this game, there was just so much that happened before an Ahri even would have got into it. You look at Diamond Prox's early game in the jungle, just how this game started was just insane for the Unicorns.
Basically, you're looking at pressure in the lane more than anything, but again, Diamond, he has a stronger early matchup. He has a great lane to gank. A Tahm Kench lane is so easy to gank. He has perma-slow. He can get obviously the Devour. And then now, because there's so much map control for Unicorns, and because Koppe and Nisbet are currently losing the lane, they've just lost a big trade so they get pushed down to side. This should not happen for Lucian. That sets up Diamond to then go dive up top side. He knows there's no response from the mid lane because look at Zed here, had already jumped him, and now once again, controlling mid. It does give a kill to Splyce, but this was about the only highlight of the game for this team.
It really was, but here was the highlight for Unicorns. This play in the bottom lane. Deficio, I know you loved this play.
Well, the thing is, I wanted to see this even earlier, but yes, this is how you play the composition for Unicorns of Love. You have a 1-3-1 with Tahm Kench TP. That's the weaker lane. That's not the lane you want to gank. Instead, you have the Zed. You know he has the pressure. You want to play around him around him because he doesn't have teleport, so you want to stay near him. And you know he's going to push it down to tower, and you just go for the dive. Alistar, Elise, Tahm Kench, all perfect divers. That's like a free kill every time.
So good. I mean, that's the Tahm Kench Alistar first rotation out of Unicorns. That's exactly what that's meant to do at that point. And that wasn't the end of it for the Unicorns. They kind of took that and went, oh, we have a lead. Let's just snowball this. The ace that they got in the top side jungle. Just this fight from the Unicorns just completely summed up the game.
Sealing the deal.
Yeah, obviously engage from Nisbet, no shadow, so they do think they can create a pick, but it doesn't go fast enough. And they end up investing so much, and then we have the minions here basically making it almost impossible to escape. And once Senpai gets pulled in by the Tahm Kench, it's almost game over there because now the damage is gonna lag after everything was invested, and Splyce is already fairly low, and Steelback can start cleaning up, which he did really, really well on this Ezreal pick. That's really a pick that fits him.
Yeah, 5-0-4 ending from Steelbat. Of course, another person that we had some question marks around coming from his split in NA back to the EU LCS after previously having played on Fnatic, of course. So good first impression.
And I think that first impression, again, as I would say, was very good from Steelback. I think one of the things that's almost plagued Steelback in the last year is his last impression from MSI. I think his split in general with Fnatic through spring was decent, but MSI seemed to be a stumbling block. Looks to be back on form in the first game now of the season.
Yeah, very good victory for the Unicorns of Love. For Splyce, not a victory yet. There are 2 teams left to make their spring split debut and also look for a victory, Vitality and Roccat. Before we go, we'll hear what Nukeduck thinks about his former team.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to play against Roccat. I'm still good friends with the people there. I met them when we were practicing. And I think Roccat is a fairly underrated team compared to the common consensus of them. I think they're pretty strong, and when we played against them, they were pretty smart. So I'm looking forward to play against them. I think it will be a good match.